Today, I want to talk about hidradenitis suppurativa, or HS. We'll call it HS, okay? So what is it? What can trigger it? And why for so many women, especially over 40, it's not just a skin problem. It's a sign of deeper inflammation and of hormonal imbalance. I'm also going to share a bit about my personal experience because this is something I personally went through and it changed the way I looked at symptoms, food, and hormones. So let's get into it. Here is a super quick and condensed explanation of what is HS. HS is a chronic inflammation skin condition that often shows up as bumps, lumps, and cysts. You'll find them often in the underarm area, under the chest, or in the groin area. It can be triggered by chronic inflammation, insulin resistance, hormonal shift, and stress, sweat, and friction. I wanted to share my personal experience with HS to share valuable information in the hope of helping a few of you that might be struggling with this situation as well. So in August, about 6 months ago, I noticed some tiny, very tiny cyst, like pimple, coming up in the front of my neck. It felt like clogged pores. Annoying, but not alarming. Then those went away, but they appeared in my armpits. And then it got worse. I got them more and more often. It was painful. I was wondering, what is this? What's going on with me? And I never experienced anything like it until one cyst became huge, infected, and extremely painful. It was throbbing, so I know it was infected, and I had to drain it. And that's when I knew that all the symptoms fitted HS. So, like anybody does, I went and researched on Google what to do about it. And I tried several suggestions, such as diluted tea tree oil, hot compresses, castor oil. I wash with Neutrogena glycerin bar for acne for clogged pores, which I think was helpful. And I would use a washcloth with a little bit of soap on it to rewash my underarms if I felt I was overly sweaty that day, or if I could also smell my sweat smelling a little funky or unusual. And then obviously those washcloths went straight to the laundry. I also tried clay mask under my arm. I put pimple patches with hydroquinone, and I made sure that after every workout, I would wipe off all the areas that are prone to HS, but specifically my problem area, which was my underarm pit, with post-workout wipes, and that I would also reapply deodorant and put a new shirt on so that I wasn't in my sweaty clothes before I could get home and shower. So out of all the things that I've tried, the ones that actually had an impact on me were the castor oil. It didn't reduce the inflammation so much, but it really was great at soothing the area. And I also think it was beneficial in terms of helping with the scarring. The second one, I would say just rewashing with a washcloth the area when I was overly sweaty. That just had a positive impact right away. And the third one was my post-workout wipes and my clothes change after my workouts. So these are the wipes I've used. They're for Shoppers Drug Mart if you're in Canada, or Pharmaprix in Quebec. They're from the Life brand. They're called post-workout wipe, and it says they remove oil and impurity, and they have tea tree oil and eucalyptus oil inside of them. So very easy to use and very helpful for any workout people, any gym people. A must in the gym bag right now. I also book a doctor appointment so I can confirm the diagnosis, which he did, and he proceeded to refer me to a dermatologist. But I didn't make the appointment yet. Why? Well, because I was able to control the issue by myself so far. How? Well, I stopped and I asked myself one powerful question. When did this all started? I never had HS before. When did it start? In August. Okay, what changed in August? What did I do or add in my life that could have made this impact or change in my body? The answer surprised me. I had reintroduced Greek yogurt into my diet. Yep, Greek yogurt. Healthy food, right? Well, I was rotating between 4 different kinds of Greek yogurt, full fat, low sugar. A healthy choice, right? But I already knew something important about myself. I'm intolerant to casein, which is a protein in the dairy coming from the cow. Now, in the past, too much dairy would flare up my cystic acne on my face. And that's why I cut almost all of the dairy from cows back in 2016. This time, though, it showed up differently. I believe that the combination between dairy and the hormonal shifts coming from me being in perimenopause contributed to turning inflammation into HS. So I cut the yogurt. Well, within 10 days, no more cyst. It was completely gone until my next ovulation. Since then, one of my armpit is completely cleared. I had no recurring flare-up. And I still have a tiny bit of issue under one of my armpit, but it's very manageable. It's far and few. I'm working at balancing my hormones to resolve the remnant of the situation. So an important nuance here, I still eat a little bit of dairy. I've been for the last forever. I take a little bit of 35% cream in my coffee in the morning, and I have a little bit of cheese here and there. But those have never affected me before. And I still don't think they do, because removing the yogurt was sufficient to really help the issue. And that's a great reminder that food intolerances is dose dependent and very individual. It's not about good or bad food. It's about what's good for your body. So a side note here, other change that I noticed at the same time is that the odor of my sweat became, let's say, more noticeable and strong and unpleasant, like different from the past. Once I started using the post-workout wipes and the inflammation settled down, the odor issue is almost completely resolved too. It's another sign that my body was inflamed and that hormonal shifts are behind this. What I'd like you to take from this is that if you are dealing with HS, cystic acne, stubborn weight, bloating, or weird symptoms that came out of nowhere, it's rarely random. Your body is communicating with you. The key is knowing how to listen, what questions to ask, and how to connect the dots between food, hormones, metabolism, inflammation, lifestyle habits, and more. That's where a holistic approach matters. If you're a woman over 40 and feel like your body has suddenly changed the rules of the game, and you're tired of guessing, restricting, or being dismissed, I help my clients discover their own personal triggers, balance hormone naturally, and lose weight without burning themselves out. If you want support, guidance, and a holistic plan that actually makes sense for your own body, just reach out. Click the link for a free discovery call with me in the description bar below. You don't have to figure this out alone.